check that chat space with the pictures there. I could have put everything on there, but let me show you something. See this? All these papers, no name. Okay, so you're wondering why you have don't have a good grade in a particular class? That might be one of the reasons why. All right, there are 2 tests here for science that had no name on them. Okay, now it could be 6th graders, but it probably is not. But let me tell you who it possibly could be. All right, so if you know you turned your test in, then it might be you. I have to go to the other. Hold on, I have to go on iGrade to get it. So let's see here. Come on, iGrade. Anyway, there were. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty confident that one of these is David's. Could that possibly be the case, David?
What test are you talking about?
I have no idea, but it's most likely mine.
Okay. Well, let's maybe I'll get to the writing part and you can tell me which one might be yours. Because there are 2 of them here. One of them is here's one of them. Does that look like yours? And there's another one here. I'll show you that one.
I think this one is mine.
This one, that's what I thought too. I think the other one, I can't tell from the writing. Could be Nazar's, I suppose. Let me go back and look at the assignments here. What do you mean, will you be starting? I was already starting. Sending me messages like that. Unfortunately, I had a parent call me right at the beginning of the class, so.
Sorry, Mr. Jones.
Oh, that's okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and do this, and I'll see if I can figure out who the people were. But let's go ahead and do the practice for 106. Let's look at that. All right. So letter A is 2/3. B is 8/9. C 2 2/3. D 1 1/2. E 1 1/8. F is 4. G is 6. H is 4 1/2. And I is 12.
We'll do it after.
Okay, any questions on any of that? All right, let's see who got check marks then. 1 second here. All right, Elizabeth, did you get check mark? I don't. You got to turn your microphone on there, Elizabeth, if you did or didn't, either way, so I know. Okay,
No.
yes or no? Okay, thank you. Alina, how about you?
No.
Okay, Yuri's not there. Nathan?
I didn't have.
No.
I don't have any.
Okay. Tejas?
No.
Okay, let's just do this. Did anybody get it? Because it looks like nobody, everybody's saying no. So if you did get a check mark, just go ahead and say it in your name.
Ella.
You did? Okay. And you get a half lesson pass. And I just realized I forgot to put the passes in your envelope. So I'm holding on to them. And so if you ever need to use one, just let me know. That's another thing that's missing, by the way. There are many of you that have not done your test 20 yet. And if you give it to me, then you'll know what your grade is, so you know whether you get any passes from the test. But if you didn't, if you did put it in the envelope instead, that's okay. Just don't expect that you'll get any half lesson passes until I get it graded.
So then we need to do it. Where is test 2?
All right, let's go ahead and look at the lesson then. Lesson 106. Number 1, you should have 2 circles, and one of them has half shaded. The other one has 2/3 shaded. Number 2 is 1/4 and 25%. Number 3 is 8. Number 4 is 350,000, 350,000. Number 5 is 93,814,200. That's 93,814,200. Number 6 is B. 7 is 5/20 plus 4/20 equals 9/20. 8A is 10 and B is 30. 9 is 3, 6, 9, 12. 10A is 12 toothpicks. B is 9 small squares. 11 is 3 centimeters. 12 is 0.75, 3/4, and 75%. 13 is 1 1/3. 14 is 3/4, and 15 is 6. Okay. Any questions? Yeah, go ahead, Nathan.
What was number 8?
A is 10 and B is 30. Okay, is there somebody else?
Mr. Jones,
Yes.
would you read 12?
12 was 0.75, 3/4, and 75%.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's move on to number 16. 1684.734. 17. 22,646. 22,646. 18 is 675,840. That's 675,840. 19 is $9.40. 20 is 37 with a remainder of 13. 21 is 14 with a remainder of 7. 22 is $5.04. 23 is 10 over 10. 24 is 1 3/4. And 25 is 1 2/3. Any questions there?
Would you repeat number 16?
Did you say 16?
Yes.
Okay, it's 1684.734.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's go ahead and get your grades then. All right, Elizabeth, and you got to turn your microphone on.
24.
Thank you. Alina?
19.
And Alina, did you do your test?
I don't
what?
I don't remember if I did it.
You don't remember? Okay. If you did it, if you didn't do it, do you have it there still? Do you not keep your papers in one place?
I didn't check it. That's why you didn't do it. Yes, I didn't check
What?
your papers.
I couldn't hear you.
What test was it?
Test 20 for math.
Go use your test 20.
All right, Nathan, yes.
What was number 20?
20 was 14, remainder of 7. All right, so Nathan, what did you get?
18.5 correction.
Okay. Tejas, what about you?
He didn't do it.
Okay, thank you.
He didn't do his
Angelica?
test also, Mr. Jones.
Okay, thank you. Angelica?
20.
Thank you. Did you do your test 20 yet, Angelica?
Not yet.
Okay.
Put it in
Giselle?
and do this again.
I didn't finish mine.
25, you said?
No, I didn't finish mine.
Oh, didn't finish yours. Okay. Did you do your test yet?
Yes.
All right. You put it in the envelope, or did you send me a picture?
I think I put in the envelope.
Okay. Thank you. Elijah,
25.
was that a full lesson, Elijah?
Half.
Okay. Scott,
I put it in the envelope.
the lesson? 106?
Yeah.
Guys, don't put your lessons in the envelope for me to grade. We hadn't covered it yet. Schlock, this is 3 weeks we've done this now. 3 weeks. We always check it on the next day. So now if it was a correction, that'd be different. You can put it in there for a correction, but this one we hadn't even graded yet. So, all right. Did you do your test yet, Schlock?
Yeah, I put that in there too.
Thank you. Okay, Ella?
21 and a half.
Okay. Did you do your test yet, Ella?
Yeah. I put it in the envelope.
Thank you. David? No? Okay. All right. So, yes, Giselle, what was that? Oh, that was a picture of the message? All right. All right. So let's look at your next lesson, 107, ratios. All right. You're going to start using ratios a lot as you go, especially you get into 7th and 8th grade, in comparing fractions. What you'll find out as you get older, as you get into the upper grades of math, is that fractions are a very common element that are used in math. And fractions with numbers is what you're dealing with now, but eventually you get to the point where you deal with fractions so often that your fractions are also using letters. In fact, sometimes only letters. And you think, how could that possibly be? Well, mainly it's understanding about how fractions work in the first place. Well, these are ratios, and this is using ratios is usually in comparison to other one thing to another. And so let's look at the very beginning there and follow along as I read, if you would. And so it says a ratio is a way of describing a relationship between two numbers. If there are 12 boys and 18 girls in a class, then the ratio of boys to girls in the class is 12 to 18. By the way, the exact opposite works as well. If it says there are if it says what is the ratio of girls to boys, whatever the first one is goes on top. Okay, Doc, you reading or you just okay? Whatever you're going first goes on top, then on the bottom. And if you can reduce a ratio fraction, you should, but don't make it a mixed number. Okay. So for instance, if we were saying girls to boys, we would say 18 to 12. All right. And that would reduce to 6. Nope, it would reduce to so it'd be like this, 18 to 12. All right, you wouldn't make that a mixed number. All right, you would leave it like that, even though it's an improper fraction, because you're doing ratios. You don't make ratios mixed numbers, because then you get something that doesn't really work very well. All right, so on the other one, though, that we're talking about, 12 to 18, you would reduce it whenever you can, which in this case equals 2/3 as your final ratio reduction. Okay. Hey, David, would you mind doing that another time? Thank you. It's distracting. I can see it, other people can see you, and so. All right, so always reduce a ratio if you can. Now look at the example there. It says there were 12 boys and 16 girls in the class. What was the ratio of boys to girls? Now, notice what does it say? Ratio of what?
Boys to girls.
Yeah, boys to girls, not girls to boys. So the boys goes on top. That's 16 to 12 girls. Remember, the first one, the one that you're doing from, goes first, 16 to 12. So then you reduce those by dividing them both by 4/4, and you get 4/3 as your final ratio. Don't make it 1 1/3, because then it's not a ratio anymore. A ratio has to be written in the form of a fraction. All right. So if you feel like every time you see an improper fraction, you have to make it a mixed number, then you're probably not going to find this easy to not do. Now I'm telling you, don't do something, so don't do it. Just for ratios, though, is what we're talking about. All right. Did you have a question, Nathan, or are you good?
No.
Okay. All right. So let me give you one. So get ready with your whiteboard. For those of you that have your microphones and your cameras off, do one of the two and put one of them on so that we can either hear you or see you. So that way we know when you got it. All right. Let's see here. All right, so here you go. Word problem. What is the ratio of pigs to squirrels if there are 30 squirrels and 15 pigs?
Mr. Jones.
Who is that?
Me.
You got it. Good job. Those are interesting looking pigs and squirrels.
Those are cats.
Oh, they're cats. Okay. You got it, Nathan?
Mr. Jones.
You got it. Who is that? Alina? Yeah, Alina, you got it? Who called out my name? Was that you,
Elijah.
Alina? Oh, Elijah. Yes, I don't see you, Elijah. Where'd you disappear to? Let me see if I can pull you down. Yeah, I don't, you're not showing the picture anymore for some reason. Correct, Schlock? Ella, Daliana, Ella, Angelica. Hi, so welcome back. Did you guys get kicked off, or did you accidentally knock yourself off?
Accidentally.
Okay, that's correct, Tejas. So if you can't turn your camera on, if I can't see you, I'll just go ahead and write the answer here momentarily. That is correct, Ella. Good job. Elizabeth, hold yours down a little bit. Let me see if I can get a bigger picture. Oh, go ahead, do it again. Let me see. Now I get a better view of you. That's correct. Good job. Okay, Angelica, waiting for you, I think, and then Giselle. Did you already do it, Giselle, or no?
No.
Okay, so Angelica, Giselle. You don't want to pet those cats, David. Their ears would cut your fingers, poke you.
I would erase them if I pet them.
You would erase them? If maybe they bite. Where'd Angelica go? She left. How about you, Giselle? Did you get this yet?
No.
You know what to do?
I've been stuck here for too long.
Who's been stuck here for too long? What do you mean stuck here for too long? At home? You're not the only one, Bubba. I wish I could stay home. I haven't been home any more than what I was before, which was hardly at all. Now I'm working on Saturdays and Sundays because they need people to deliver packages on Sundays. I agree with you though, David. I would like to be able to get out and do some things. Hi, Angelica. Welcome back. Hey, do you have your answer yet? I'm still waiting for you and Giselle. Just in case you didn't know, your microphone's not on. Giselle, let's see here. Hold on. Hold on. Keep it up there. All right. Correct, Giselle. Good job. Hey, Angelica, waiting for you.
Mr. Jones, what was
Yes, ma'am.
What was the question?
Can you not see it on your video?
No. No.
It says, what is the ratio of pigs to squirrels if there are 30 squirrels and 15 pigs? Did you get Angelica?
1.5?
Not 1.5, because you did it upside down. And by the way, remember, no ratio is ever going to be a mixed number. It's always going to be just a fraction, even if it's an improper fraction. So if you have what I said was the ratio of pigs to squirrels, and there were 15 pigs and 30 squirrels. Even though I put squirrels first, you still got to put it in the right order. So it'd be 15 over 30, not 30 over 15. And so it would be 1/2 would be what it is reduced down to. So that would be your ratio. Does that make sense?
That's what I meant.
Oh, that's not what you said. You said 1.5. You meant 1/2?
Oh, a 1 and then a line and then a 2 on the bottom.
Yeah, that's just 1/2. 1.5 would be a 1 and then a 1/2 next to it. So just, yeah, there you go. All right. Sounds good. You guys have it. Let's go ahead and get your language out. Oh boy. Think B on 162. Think B on 162. We did Think A already. All right, so I don't know if you guys, as you were reading these, if you actually, bless you, by the way, whoever's sneezing, if you were actually got these jokes, I think some of them are pretty good. So number 1, you should have a opening quotation before Y, a question mark after Cliff, and then a closing quotation after the question mark, then a period at the end of that sentence after Tom. Then on the second one, opening quotation mark, comma after breaks, and then closing quotation mark at the end of that line after the comma there on breaks. Why did Dunderhead drive his new truck off the cliff? Asked Tom. I think that he wanted to test his air brakes. Get it? Air brakes. Drive off the
Yeah.
cliff. All right. Some of you want to test your air brakes that way too?
Yep.
No? Okay. All right. Number 2, comma after teacher, and then opening quotation mark right before the what, then a question mark after legs, and then a closing quotation mark. Then on the next line, opening quotation before the I, comma after Bill, and closing quotation mark. Then a comma on the next line, comma after said, opening quotation before the I, and then a period after now on the next line, and a closing quotation mark. So there you have a kind of conversation going on, and so you have to do each part that's quoted, you have to put in quotation marks. Any questions so far on either of those? Okay. Number 3, opening quotation before mom. Second line, question mark after refrigerator, and then closing quotation mark. On the third line, opening quotation before that's, comma after problem, and then closing quotation after that comma. Then at the end of that line, before the I, an opening quotation, and on the next line, closing quotation after the period after Jello. Number 4, opening quotation before did. So did you see Rover tiptoeing past the medicine cabinet? Patty, and then question mark, and then closing quotation. Joked Charlie, period. Opening quotation, no. Why was he doing that? Question mark, closing quotation, Patty asked. Opening quotation before the he didn't want to wake up the sleeping pills, comma, closing quotation, roared Charlie. Yep. Okay, some of those are a little corny. All right. All right, capitalization rules 1, 2, and 3. Exercise, think A. All right, and then we go to C. Yeah, and then we get to check it for points. Fun, right? All right, here we go. Number 1, who and I should be capitalized. Number 2, and thou should be capitalized. Number 3, the, how, and I should be capitalized. Hey, Schlock, did you do it or no?
Do what?
The assignment that we're checking right now together.
Yeah,
What are you doing then?
I'm looking at it.
Oh, okay, because you look like you were digging something out. I thought maybe you were trying to get a staple out of something. Okay. Number 3, the and throw should both be capitalized. Number 5, that was number 4, by the way. Number 5, again and art should be capitalized. Number 6, we should be capitalized. Number 7, Julie, Jill, I should be capitalized. Number 8, if and I should be capitalized. And then number 9, arise should be capitalized. Number 10, miss and add should be capitalized. Any questions on that? All right, to get ready for points for this next one, 163, remember C? Get ready to write the grade down. Who is trying to call me? One moment. Hello? It was a sales thing. Recorded message. Okay, so here we go. All right, so here we go. Number 1, look is a verb. 2 is a preposition. The is an adjective. Lord is a noun. 4 is a preposition. Guidance is a noun. And is a conjunction. He is a pronoun. Will is a verb. Faithfully is an adverb. Direct is a verb. You is a pronoun. In is a preposition. All is an adjective. And things is a noun. Any question on any of those?
No.
Okay. All right. On number 2, his is an adjective. Wisdom is a noun. Surpasses is a verb. All is an adjective. Others is a noun. His is an adjective. Truth is a noun. Is a verb. Our is an adjective. Only is an adjective. And hope is a noun. Any questions on that one?
He's gonna kick you out to be quiet. Quiet. Mr. Jones,
All right. Yes, go ahead, Elijah.
what is only?
Only is an adjective.
Okay, thanks.
Mhm.
Mr. Rhodes,
Yes.
how much is each point worth?
Each word is worth 1 point.
I'm gonna say Mr.
So just count up the number that you got wrong, and just tell me how many you missed, and I'll get your grade. All right, Elizabeth, microphone, and how many did you miss?
You have a question?
-7.
Thank you very much. Lena?
Nah.
Alina, you got to turn your microphone on.
-6.
Thank you very much. Nathan? Microphone.
Actually, no, I don't. Oh, man. I was about to say Mr. Jones.
3? Okay.
3.
Pages.
-0.
Thank you. Angelica?
-1.
Nazar is not here. Giselle? You got to turn your microphone on.
-10.
-10, you said?
Yes.
Thank you. Elijah?
-4.
Thank you. Schlot?
-2.
Okay. Ella?
-3.
All right. And David?
For both of the pages?
Yeah, we're checking his remember C on the bottom for a grade.
Number C. -2.
All right. Awesome. All right. Any questions about any of those as to why they are what they are? Okay, David, go ahead.
I thought Think B was for a grade.
Think B on the other page.
Yeah.
Was Think B a grade also? Anybody?
No.
I just wrote grade.
Yeah, I don't think I intended that for a grade, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't. So, all right. Anyway, let's move on. It's not now, so let's look at writing dialogue. All right. I'm not going to focus too much on this, mainly because I'm not having you guys write a book, a story, or anything like that. Although there is one particular exercise that they do in here. In fact, it's at the bottom of here. Between Charlie Brown and Lucy, but we'll get to that in a minute. So dialogue is another word. Not another word. It is a word for written conversation between 2 or more persons. And so when you're writing dialogue, you're writing something that is occurring between 2 or more people, just some what they're saying to each other. Which, of course, you're writing it. So when you write dialogue, look there again. When you write dialogue, make each person's speech, no matter how short, a separate paragraph. So in a paragraph, what you have to emphasize is this, that you need to make sure that you are in that paragraph indenting. So you move in about 5 spaces in. Sorry, I was going to say bless you, but you didn't sneeze, you coughed. 5 spaces in before you start writing. And so you see there, they give you some examples. Why did you have to stay after school, Ed? Asked Mr. Pope. I didn't know where to find the Andes, Ed replied. In the future, please remember where you put your things, Mr. Pope chided. So you can see that Mr. Pope, where it says, Mr. Pope chided, that's a part of that third paragraph. You see, the first paragraph is where the Y is, the second one's where the I is, and the third one is where the N starts. Those are your paragraphs there. Okay, so that is what happens. So each of those are indented, even though it's all part of the same conversation because it's a new person speaking, and that's the whole idea of indenting, is to make sure that we can know who it is, and also the quotation, of course, all the things that are in quotation marks. Tejas, would you read the look closely there?
Did you notice in the last example that when dialogue consists of more than one sentence, the quotation marks go at the beginning and ending of the whole speech, not around each sentence?
Okay, so what they're talking about is where it says Marie, it said, we'll start with those last two. It surely is a hot day for a football game, Anne said. Marie answered, yes, it is. Let's go sit in front of Bob. He's a big fan. They really like those corny jokes, don't they? The whole idea is those three sentences. Yes, it is. Let's go sit in front of Bob. He's a big fan. You don't need to put quotation marks around each sentence. You just put since it's the same person saying it, you put it at the beginning of when she spoke and at the end of when she stopped speaking. All right. So now I am going to offer to you the opportunity to do Write A as extra credit. Okay. If you want to come up with a joke of your own, or if you know of one already that you can have between two people, obviously not one that is an example in the book. You'd be surprised how many times, well, you probably might not be surprised, but many times people, I've given this as an extra credit assignment, and then they go find one in the book. Well, that's called cheating. And I don't know if you knew that or not, but you're just writing down from the book. If you know one of your own, that's fine. You don't have to do it. It's just extra credit. If you want to make up one and you think it's funny and you want to send me a picture of it, and if you want to share it with the class next time, that's fine. Just send a picture of it. I'll be glad to let everybody know what your joke is, and then we can all laugh or groan at it as it happens. Think B, it says read through this whole story. On your paper, rewrite the story with correct indentation and punctuation, okay? So I want you to do that. We'll check that the next time. I will let you know what you're supposed to indent and what you're supposed to put in quotation marks. And so that will be part of your assignment. And then I want you to write on Do Write C. And this is your only page that you're doing today. So it says on your paper, write a conversation between Charlie Brown and Lucy. Now, how many of you don't know who Charlie Brown and Lucy are?
Me.
All right. Charlie Brown and Lucy are part of the Peanuts gang, if you want to call them that. If you've seen Charlie Brown's the little guy who has only one hair coming out of his head, kind of like me, I guess, but only one hair coming out of his head that curls around. He usually wears a striped shirt that the stripes go up and down like this. And he's the one it's the one where it has the dog Snoopy, the little dog that walks around. And he's Charlie Brown's pet. He sleeps on top of the doghouse. He's the one that is the Red Baron during World War I. He pretends he's the Red Baron at times. And does anybody not know who they are now? Yes, no? Okay, so if you look up on the computer, you can easily find Peanuts is the name of the cartoon strip called Peanuts. Peanuts. If you look that up, Peanuts comic strip, you'll be able to find some examples of them. No. But you are going to have your own writing conversation between them, and it says make sure you start a new paragraph each time. Did somebody fall off the cliff? Testing your air brakes? No? Okay. No, they're probably gone now, so if they already went off. All right. Any questions about that or anything like that? All right. Well, I have... Yes, sir. Go ahead.
The only things we have to do are think B and write C and write A for extra credit.
Correct. That is your assignment for today. So write that down in your booklet. Go ahead and write that down, please. Nazar, you joined us.
It kept on. I couldn't get on.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about you and Yuri have that same problem. What are you using for your device?
An iPhone 11 Pro Max, the newest one.
Oh, that's weird because iPhone should work well. And what'd you say? What else? An iPhone what?
iPhone 11 Pro Max, The new-
Oh,
the
11.
new
Okay.
one.
The Pro Max. Not only just 11, but 11 Pro Max.
Yeah. Why do they add so much
Maybe it's
letters
maybe
and
it's
stuff?
too good for this dinky little the dinky computers we have. It's just overpowering it, and it kicks off.
All they
something, you
did
know,
is
ruin it.
all they did is took the iPhone 10 and just added a camera.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
I thought the iPhone
And
10
also,
already had a camera.
And also it has more storage. It has 500 something gigabytes.
I never saw you trying to come on until just now. So, but were you there at 10 o'clock?
Yeah, I was trying to get on. It wouldn't let me.
Okay, so what you'll have to do is you'll have to watch the recording, unfortunately, and
Yeah.
then give me the grade for that 163 at the bottom there. Or if you want to hang on, I can get your answers for it, and then
No,
you can just
it's
grade it real
fine.
quick since we're done now.
It's
That's it,
fine. I'll
everybody.
just
That's your
watch the
assignment.
recording.
Make sure you write it down on your. Yes,
Hey, what's the assignment?
it's page 164, B and C. Okay, but then A is also an extra credit opportunity for you if you wanted to do that. But you'll need to read 164 to understand about dialogue and how that works.
Okay.
All right. So if you want to hang on, you can. I'm going to stop the recording now, and I'm going to repeat the answers for Nazar so that he can.